some more information that sources have shared. We are learning that the probe into the AI-171 crash will also focus on how the fuel switches went off, whether it was accidentally turned off by one of the pilots maybe, or if it happened automatically. Anand Singh continues to be with us. Anand, of course, as you stated, it's a preliminary report. Further investigation is ongoing, but in the coming days, the report, the preliminary investigation has not stated how exactly this fuel control switch was turned off. So, what are some areas that we will focus on, investigators will focus on in the coming days of the investigation?
Yeah, Malvika, look, now modern aircraft's electrical systems are very complex, and it has around millions of chips in which the commands goes on. So clearly, the investigators will first try to find out that how the way in which the preliminary report has highlighted the fuel switches was cutting off the supply of fuel to the engines, both the engines, whether the right or left, and even before both the engines gained thrust and much power, the airplane had crashed, landed on a BJ Medical Hostel, and then it exploded. So clearly, number of aspects will be going on with the investigators. First, they will try to understand whether it was some human error from the pilot. However, it is very early to mention that it can be a human error, as they will be also going through the number of flight data of the Boeing Dreamliner to ascertain whether this kind of situation had happened in any other Boeing Dreamliner flight or not. They will check that how this fuel switches had got turned off automatically, or it was by accident by any of the pilots, or if there were any other members present inside the cockpit. So all these aspects will go into consideration before the investigators come to a full conclusion. But now it will be very early to say that it's a human error, as the AAIB has nowhere mentioned that it's a human error. It has only said, based on the communication between the two pilots in the cockpit, that how one of the pilots asked, did you cut off the engine? And second said, I didn't do so. So number of aspects will go into it, and the AAIB investigators, they will be also speaking with the Boeing team and GE, the manufacturer of the engine that is fitted with the Boeing Dreamliner. So clearly, they will try to understand each and every aspect. They will also go through the software codings of the Boeing 7878 to understand whether this kind of malfunction come. However, it's very rare to happen, but they will also analyze all those data in regard to the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, as there are around 1100 Boeing 787 Dreamliner across the globe which are currently operational. So clearly, a lot of deliberation and a lot of thought processes will go after analyzing the data of the several Boeing Dreamliner planes, and then only the investigators can come onto a conclusion whether it was a human error or it was a mechanical or software glitch that led to such a catastrophe by cutting off the fuel from the engines of this Boeing 7878 Dreamliner that was London bound. Back to you, Mamika.
Well, Anand, stay with us.